Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. I welcome you, my respected sisters, to today's lesson number 9 of level 2. I hope everybody is doing well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in your knowledge. Ameen. If my audio is clear, please let me know in the chat box. So inshallah, we'll start the class. And as you all know, that the chat box where you're supposed to send your replies is the name of the host is your answers. Please write here. So inshallah, I'll wait a while for your feedbacks. Alhamdulillah. So we'll start the class. Lesson number 9, singulars and plurals. I hope we all by now know what is singular and plurals in Arabic is. Of course, we know what is in English. What is in English? In English, singular is one. One book, one teacher, one car. What's plural? Could be many books, many teachers, many cars. And if you look from the Arabic perspective, that's not what the plural is. In Arabic, plural is two or more. In English, one is singular, anything above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go on until whatever, and that is plural. In Arabic, one is singular, anything above 2 is plural, right? So many books means 2 or more books, many teacher means 2 or more teachers, many car means 2 or more teachers. So it leaves us a bit of gap in our knowledge. Singular is 1, plural is more than 2. What about 2? What is 2? That's good. 2, in English, you could say it's a dual, right? In Arabic, it is called muthanna. Muthanna. For now, let's stick to the word dual. Dual means what? 2. Examples, 2 books, 2 teachers, 2 cars. Is it clear now? Now, if you look at this slide, you will see the division of Arabic language in terms of these singular plurals. Singular is one book. Dual is 2 books. Plural is more than 2 books, right? In English, you will not find this. English, 1 book and then it's books. Now, when you say books with the S at the end, it could mean 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. In Arabic, you can't say like that. In Arabic, it's 1 book, it's more than 2 books or 2 books. So how to change a singular to dual? So if we have 1 book, how to make 2 books? We know how to make plural. We say kutubun. We have a word muslimun. We want to make the plural. We'll say muslimuna, many Muslims. How will we say 2 Muslims? How will we say 2 books? Let's see, it's very, very simple. If you have word kitabun, 2 would be kitabani. Qalamun is 1 pen. Qalamani means 2 pen. Tabibun means 1 doctor. Tabibani means 2 doctors. Sayyaratun means 1 car. Sayyaratani means 2 cars. Haqibatun means 1 bag. Haqibatani means 2 bags. So how do we make it? It's very simple. Simply add alif and noon, as you can see here. Kitabun, and then we added alif and noon. So kitabun meant 1 book, but now kitabani means 2 books. Let's see further. So singular, we have tabibun, mudirun, muhandisun, tabibatun, mudarrisatun, kitabun, qalamun, hadha, hadihi, and huwa, right? How to make dual from them, because we know how to make plurals. So let's see. Is everybody with me, sisters? Are you getting the idea of dual? Please give me 1 if you understand, 2 if you don't understand. We will see how to make it, but are you actually understanding what's the meaning of dual? Alhamdulillah, very good. So we will see more detail. Even if you have a little bit confusion, inshallah, that will be removed, bismillah ta'ala. So dual is more than 1. So singular is 1, Dual is what? Tabibani, Mudirani, Mohandisani. So Tabibani, two doctors, Mudirani, two managers, Mohandisani, two engineers, Tabibatani, we added alif and noon, isn't it? Two female doctors, Mudarrisatani, two female teachers, Kitabani, two books, Qalamani, two pens. And we've studied Hadha is for this, but what if you're pointing towards two things? We studied that Hadha, let's say Hadha Muslimun. For Muslimuna, we'll say Haulai Muslimuna, these are Muslims. But what if these two Muslims are there? You don't want to point towards one or many, they're just two. How will you say Hadani Muslimani? And if you have, for example, uh, one Muslim woman, you say Muslimatun, Hadihi Muslimatun. And how will you say these are Muslim women? Haulai Muslimatun. This is what you say. What if you have only two sisters in front of you? How will you say? You will say Hatani Muslimatani. Huwa, if you're using huwa and saying huwa, he is a Muslim, huwa Muslimun, right? And if there are many, you will say hum Muslimuna, they are Muslim. But if there are only two people and you want to talk about them, you're not pointing towards them. If you point towards them, then you will use ismul ishara. Yani you will say hada wa hadani or haulai or ulaika, but you want to use the pronoun. How will you use for singular Muslim? You will say huwa Muslimun. But if there are two you are talking about, you say huma Muslimani. It's very, very simple. Let's see further. Inshallah, you'll get that. Look at this. Kitabun mufrad. How did we make the dual? Kitabani. Babun is one door, two doors, babani. Sa'atun is one watch. How do we make two? Sa'atani. Khuruf is one sheep. How do we say two? Khurufani. Zawja is one wife. How do we say two? Zawjatani. Maktabun is one office. Maktabani, two offices. Ghurfatun is one room. Ghurfatani is two room. Madrasatun is a school. Madrasatani means two school. Mohandisun, an engineer. How do we say? Mohandisani is two engineers. So what did we do? We simply added alif and noon after the singular word. End of the story. It is so simple, isn't it? It's very easy. Look, here we were ending on ba, so we added alif and noon. Here we were ending on ba as well, bab, so we add alif and noon. Here sa'atun, what did we do? We added alif and noon. But because this is the closed ta, when you connect some letter with that, you have to open that ta. So we have opened it and sa'atani. Otherwise, there is no change. You see, this ta has been opened up and you added alif and noon. Look at this ghurfatun, one room, right? You want to say two rooms, you simply opened up this ta and added alif and nun, ghurfatani. Isn't it simple, sisters? I hope it's very, very, very easy. But you see, now I hope you will be feeling excited like I'm feeling excited that now, alhamdulillah, we are unlocking more and more knowledge and information about Arabic language. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to learn the language of the Quran full well, in a very nice manner, and then teach others. That's very important, to learn for yourself, to remove ignorance from ourselves. First, we should learn to remove ignorance from ourselves and then to remove it from others, right? Barakallah fiqh, sisters. So now if we can open our textbooks, this is what today's lesson is, chapter 18. And I hope if you have understood this, the simple thing, add alif and noon to a word, it will become two. From one, it will become two. This is what today's lesson is. It's going to be, inshallah, very, very easy, right? So it's page number 100 in the print I have. Maybe in your book, there's a different page number. Every time I say that, why do I say that? Because I start getting messages in the chat box. In my book, page number is this. In my book, this is not the page number. 100 is something else. That's fine. Just look for chapter 18. Maybe it's a different print, and there could be one or two pages number here and there, depending on how they have started numbering the pages of the particular print which you had. So this is 18th lesson. Al-Mudarrisu is a dialogue between the teacher and the students. Al-Mudarrisu. Kam akhan laka ya Muhammad. How many brothers do you have, O Muhammad? Come. This is a new word. Come. Like in English, you say C-O-M-E, come. In come means ta'al, come here. But this is not that come. This come can be used to ask a question. What kind of question? It can be used to ask how many or how much. If you're asking somebody, if you go to somewhere and asking for the price and they speak in Arabic, you say become, or how much, right? So you will add the word ba. We are not going into that discussion. I just gave you the example so that if you know about this, then you can actually connect it. So become, when you say become, you're asking how much, if you're asking for the price of something. Anyway, come can be used to ask a question about the quantity, about the numbers, how many or how much, depending on what you are asking. Kam akhan laka ya Muhammad, how many brothers do you have, O Muhammad? So Muhammad is saying, Li akhun wahidun. I have one brother. He could also say Li akhun. That would be fine. Li akhun means I have one brother. Li akhun wahidun also means one brother. They both are, the meaning for both is same. So the teacher is saying, "Wakam ukhtan laka ya Muhammad." There is no ya Muhammad not mentioned because it was asked before. So wakam ukhtan lak. How many sisters you have, and how many sisters you have. So if you have noticed, what is happening here is the word which comes after come is always mansub. So I think this is the first time we are coming across a word which is mansub, and there is something before it which is making it mansub. If you remember in the previous classes, we have discussed that originally the nouns in Arabic language, most of the nouns are marfu. By default, they have dammatain or damma, right? They are marfu. Why an Arab become mansub or majroor? There is a reason. What is the reason? Reason is a governing word. In Arabic, it's called amil. What is a governing word? Governing word means a word which is coming before that noun. That word may have the capability to change the Arab of the noun which is coming after that. And what is Arab? We all know, for so far what we've studied, according to what we've studied, Arab is the vowel sign on the last letter. In detail, we will go inshallah in future lessons. So you see here, in the first example, kam akhan. It was not kam akhun. Usually we have the word akhun for brother, but here kam akhan. Why is it coming with mansub? Why there's two fathatain coming? The reason is because of the kam. And one more thing I would like to mention. In this book, the harakat are given on the top of alif. Actually, let's not use the word actually. I'll just let's just leave some room of opinions here. The haraka could be on kha as well. And in the third line, haraka, the fathatain could be on ta as well. Usually, alif is said to be not able to hold any haraka. So haraka, if you put on alif, it is okay. You will find in the books. And if you see the haraka coming on the letter before alif, it is fine as well. But this was just on the side tangent. Right now, what we are focusing is come is a question which is used to ask how much or how many. The interesting thing is the word which comes after come is always mansub, is always mansub. It's always singular, and we will see that. So see, akhan is a singular word. So it'll always be singular and always be mansub. And if you see the translation in English, it will not be singular. In English, what do you say? How many brothers do you have? How many sisters you have? So S is coming in English, but we are learning Arabic language. We need to be careful about that. So the word come is to ask a question, how many and how much? And the noun which comes after come is always going to be mansub, always going to be singular, always going to be indefinite. If it's coming for the question, look, it's indefinite. There's no alif and lam attached, right? So this is the side information. No problem if you can't really get that. As we move along the lesson, you will see that the words which are coming after come are all mansub, all singular, and all nakira means they do not have alif and lam. So let's move forward. Wakam ukhtan lak. How many sisters you have? So he's saying li ukhtani. Here the lesson begins. Alif and nun ani. We have studied a while ago. What's the meaning? Two sisters. Li ukhtani. The word is ukhtun for a sister. What did we do? We added alif and nun and we made it two. I have two sisters. Li ukhtani. And then the teacher saying, Kam ajalatan lidarrajati ya Hamid. How many wheels for a bicycle, O Hamid? How many wheels for a bicycle, O Hamid? Kam ajalatani lidarrajati ya Hamid. Hamid is saying, Laha ajalatani. It has two wheels. It has two wheels. You see how two wheels have been made? Just added alif and noon to the original singular word and it became two. Let's see the next one. The teacher is saying, Kam Eidan. So we know how to make two, right? Just add to singular word, alif and noon, and becomes two. Kam Eidan fi sanati ya Zakaria. How many Eids are in the year, O Zakaria? So Zakaria is saying, Fissanati Eidani. What did we do? Simply added alif and noon to the word Eid. Homa Eidul Fitri wa Eidul Adha. Homa, what do you mean? They too. In English, we'll say they. They are. But in here, if we've written in bracket two, so you can actually understand that English, when they say they say for two, number two, they will say they, for three, four, five, all they will say they. But here, we will use the pronoun homa. Hoa is for one, he. Homa means they too, and hum means they all. When we talk about masculine, hoa means he, homa means they too, and hum means they all when we are talking about masculine. So then the teacher is saying, Ya Ibrahimun, mun. Can I say Ibrahimun? I could say Hamidun. I could say Muhammadun. If you think Mudarris should say, because there's no haraka given here, shall I put Ibrahimun or Ibrahimu? If you think I should say Ibrahimun, please press 1. If you think I should say no, Ya Ibrahimu, press 2. 1 if tanween is possible, 2 if tanween is not possible. There's a twist here. Let's see what your answers are. Those who are saying we can say Ibrahimun, you need to go and revise your level 1. What did we learn in level 1? Muhammadun, Zaydun, Bilalun, Khalidun. When the ya will come, tanween will go. Ya Muhammadu, Ya Khalidu, Ya Bilalu, Ya Hamidu. You can never say Khalidun and use ya. Ya will come, tanween will go, single haraka will remain. This was our level 1. So if you said tanween, you made a mistake there. You need to go back and revise. Now, coming back, moving forward. If you said tanween, because you didn't even remember this ya thing, then you made another error of judgment here. We have studied in last few lessons that Ibrahim is a non-Arab name. Non-Arab names do not accept tanween. Even if there is no ya before that, they will not accept tanween. If there's a ya before that, they will not accept tanween. They cannot accept tanween. Why Ibrahim cannot have tanween? Because Ibrahim is a non-Arab name. But instead of Ibrahim, if there was an Arab name, Muhammadun, Khalidun, Zaydun, would there be a tanween? No. In that case, also there will be no tanween. Why? Because of the ya. So here we have, in Ibrahim, we have two things combined. One, it cannot have tanween because ya is there. Second, it cannot have tanween because originally it cannot have tanween. It's a foreign name. I hope you got that and it was a good piece of revision. Alhamdulillah. Ya Ibrahim, O Ibrahim. Abu Katajirun Kabirun. Your father is a big merchant. What kind of word is Kabirun, sisters? If I ask you, what is the Arab of Kabirun? So you see, when I say Arab of Kabirun, you could say it's marfu. Okay, this is fine. You can say Tajirun is marfu, Kabirun is marfu. But usually when we say Arab, we are asking what role that word is playing. So what role is Kabirun playing in this sentence? Very good. Kabirun is the naat, as you can see in the English translation, big merchant. Could be Tajirun Shahirun, famous merchant. Tajirun Saghirun, small merchant, right? So this is Tajirun, Kabirun, big merchant. And then Kam mutajarran indahu. How many stores he have? So Ibrahim is saying, indahu, we know inda means he have, yeah, have. Indi means I have. Indahu means he has, or he have, depending on how you're using. He has mutajarrani kabirani, two big stores. So one store was mutajarran. How did you make two? By adding alif and nun, mutajarrani. And how will you make the naat for that? Obviously, naat and manu, they have to follow each other, right? So if the number is something which they will follow each other, right? You for example, Muslimun mujtahidun, hardworking Muslim. But if it's Muslimuna, mujtahiduna, right? So you have to make, they both have to follow each other in four things, right? Number is one among them in naat and man'ud. So here, if your man'ud, mutajarran, is man'ud is two, then you cannot use kabirun, right? You must use kabirani, so you can match the numbers with the numbers. We'll do more exercise of that, so don't worry about it. Then the next question is, Kam nafidatan fi ghurfatika ya Ismail. How many windows in your room, O Ismail? Sisters, I hope nobody is confused, nobody is puzzled because there are no harakat given. None of the words are new here, right? None of the words are new here. And you should be so smart by now that you should know the harakat. Look, Sheikh Abdul Rahim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on late Sheikh Abdul Rahim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him gentle firdaus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all his sins. Ameen Ya Rab. Look, where something new is being introduced, harakat are given. So, for example, if you look from the top till the bottom, because Sheikh wanted to teach us that the word which comes after kam is mansoob. So every time we see kam, the next word is showing fathatain at the end. Look, kam nafidatan here. We have, right? We can see kam nafidatan, kam eidan, kam ajalatan, kam ukhtan, kam akhan, everything. But here, kam nafidatan fi. Now, this word, which means your room, does not give any haraka. I need to ask you, what is the haraka on ta? Because first of all, English translation, I don't want to speak Arabic word here because otherwise I'll give away the vowel sign. The English translation is your room. So basically these are two words, mudaf and mudaf ilayh. But right before there, fi is coming. So shall I say fi ghurfatuka or fi ghurfatika? Of course we'll say fi ghurfatika. Why? Because ghurfati will become majroor because of this harf jar. Though it is mudaf and this ka is mudaf ilayh, right? It's a pronoun. Ya Ismail, how many windows in your room, O Ismail? So Ismail is saying, Fiha nafizatani. Two windows. So how would he say? Fiha nafizatani. It has two windows. See, nafizatun was one window. To make it two, you say nafizatani. Nafizatani. Then the teacher saying, Liman hadani daftarani. Remember, we studied the word daftar in our previous level, and then in the last few lessons we used the word dafatir. So daftar is one notebook. Dafatir are many notebooks. But what if you are talking about only two notebooks? How will you say that? You will simply come up with the singular word, which is daftar, and add alif and noon, and it will become daftarani. So here he's saying, Liman hadani daftarani, to whom belongs these two notebooks. So Ali is saying, Homa li, Homa li. One more thing. Plural, singular is hada. What is the plural of hada? Haulai. We have done that. This singular means, hada means this. How do you make these? You say haulai. What if you want to say two? If you are pointing towards one thing, you will say hada kitabun. Let's not take in the example of kitabun. Let's say hada talibun. Hada talibun means what? This is one student. If you want to talk about many and say these are students, we'll say haulai tullabun. These are students. But what if there are two students you are talking about, pointing towards two? Hadani talibani. So you added alif and noon after hada to make two. So now your mubtada is two hadani. You can't say hada and point toward two. This is wrong. If you're pointing towards two, you must use the right word. And the right word for two, musanna, is hadani. So now your mubtada hadani is your mubtada, which is a musanna, which is the dual. So your khabar must match your mubtada in number, isn't it? Can I say he are boys, or there is boy? No, I must say he is a boy or they are boys. Everything match each other, right? So here we will say hadani, and then for the example I was giving you was for the students. So hadani walibani. So they both will match each other. So this is what's shown here. Hada, the dual of hada is hadani. The plural of hada is haulai. And then coming to the answer of Ali. Ali is saying homa li. Why is saying homa? Because the question was about two things. So he's using the pronoun which is suitable for two. He cannot use the pronoun which is suitable for one. He cannot say huwa li. You see, this is the point once again where English and Arabic goes different ways. You cannot have the translation for this in English if you want to do this. Look, in English, it is they are mine. But actually, it is two. In Arabic, that's why it's in bracket, they too are mine, or they too are for me. In English, you don't have a choice. You say it is mine or they are mine, end of the story. But in Arabic, it's not going to be like that, right? I hope you are getting that. So here, this homa is basically the pronoun form of two. Pronoun form of one is huwa, he or it, and for two is homa, and for plural we use home. I hope it is clear. So al-mudarrisu, liman hatanil mistaratani, to whom belongs these two rulers, right? So one ruler is mistaratu, with ta marbuta. You added alif and noon to make it two, and hatani. Why is not hadani? Because this is a feminine word. So the actual word was hadihi. So let's say if it was a car and teacher is asking for one car, he will say, liman hadihi sayaratu. Liman hadi sayyaratu. But for two cars, he will say liman hatani sayyaratani. Once again, as we have seen before, if your mubtada is masculine, then your khabar must be masculine. If your mubtada is dual, then your khabar must be dual. Here, mistaratani, this word which means the ruler, is feminine. So obviously your mubtada is going to be feminine. So both are feminine, but both are two, both are dual. So alif noon has been added to both. And Yunus is saying once again, Homa li, Homa li. What do we learn from this? We learn that the word to, Homa, will be used for masculine and will be used for feminine. For both, it will be Homa. Somebody may say, how am I going to differentiate between the two? You will differentiate between the two. You will understand if it is used for male or female by looking at the sentence. So if it's two boys, I will say Homa Talibani. They two are students, they two are male students. But if it's a girl, they're two girls, I'll say Homa Talibatani. So when you will see in the sentence Talibatani, ta is there. Now you know it is about two girls, and that's why Homa is used. In the previous sentence, you know it's about the boys, but still Homa is used. So Homa is something which is common between both genders. Tamarin, exercises. So now Ajib anil as'alatil atiya musta'milan al-muthanna. Answer the following questions using the dual form. So very simple. We'll do that, and inshallah you will be expert in that. Kam qalaman indak. How many pens do you have? So if you want to give the answer, I will say, Indi, I have qalamani. You have to give answer in two, right, sisters? I hope you are sitting with your notebooks and your pencils, right? So I would request you to please write the answers as we are doing this exercise. So you can see how much have you understand, right? Kam kitaban indak. How many books do you have? Or how many books you have, depending on how you're translating. So if you want to say, I have two books, how will you say? Use the same pattern. In the kitabani, I have two books, right? Kam sabburatan fi faslikum. How many writing boards in your classroom? You could say whiteboard or blackboard, whatever you want to say, but this is basically referring to the writing board in the class. Kam sabburatan fi faslikum. Now you want to say you have two in your class. How will you say? Fihi sabburatani. In it, two blackboards. Or you could say fi faslina sabburatani. In our class, two writing boards. Kam riyalan indaka al-ana ya Layla. How many riyals you have right now, oh Layla? You see, in English, when you will ask the question, naturally you will come up with the S. How many riyals you have, how many books you have, how many pens you have. But remember, in Arabic, we are not using plural word. We are not using kam kutuban in that. This is wrong. Kam aqlaman. If you say aqlaman, then the translation will be pens. But this is where you need to understand. Even though in the translation, S is not written here, alhamdulillah, but you understand in the flow, you might end up saying how many pens you have. It's fine as long as it's in English, but don't try to translate pens into Arabic and say aqlam. After come, the word which comes after come will always be singular, remember. But by the way, what's the name of the word which comes after come? What's the name of the word which comes after mudaf, sisters? Can you write in the chat box, please? The word which comes after mudaf is called mudaf ilayh. The word which comes after harf jar is called what? Ism majroor. Very good. So what is the word called which comes after come? The word which comes after come, well done, sister, those who are answering. The word which comes after come is called Tamiz, tamiz, ta, mim, ya, and zai. Tamiz. So now things will become very easy, and you will understand now what's the benefit of using the term. What was I saying up till now? Up till now, I was saying like this, quote unquote. The word which comes after come, I'm using the whole phrase. The word which comes after come is mansoob, is always indefinite. Now I'm saying tamiz is always mansoob. Tamiz is always indefinite. I don't have to use the whole sentence, the word which comes after come, because you know the name of the word which comes after come. It's called tamiz. You see, this is the benefit of knowing the terminology. I just said tamiz. I hope, inshallah, in a few more classes we will repeat that. And by then, afterwards, when every time somebody will say tamiz, you will know we are talking about the word which comes after come. You will not need an explanation to somebody say, we are talking about the word which comes after come. You know, just tell me tamiz. I know what it is. Alhamdulillah, I'm a student of Arabic language. Alhamdulillah. You see? So this is called tamiz. So tamiz is always singular. Tamiz is always nakira. Tamiz is always mansoob, right? Well done, mashallah. Okay, kam riyalan indaka al-ana ya Layla. So she's saying, indi riyalani, I have 2 riyals. Kam ukhtan laka ya Ali. How many sisters you have, O Ali? So he's saying, li ukhtani. One question, can he say indi ukhtani? Is it possible to say indi ukhtani? What is correct? Li ukhtani or indi ukhtani, or both are correct. If you think li ukhtani is correct, press 1. If you think indi ukhtani is correct, press 2. If you think both are correct, then press 3. Li ukhtani, press 1. Indi ukhtani, press 2. Both are correct, press 3. No, we say li ukhtani. We've studied that before, right? For body parts and relationships, we use the word li. We don't say indi. Indi is usually used for possessions. Now, having sisters, brothers, they are not your possessions, right? They're not your possessions. They're relationships, right? They're precious relationships, but they're not possessions. So we say li ukhtani, li ukhtani. Kam amman laki ya Amina. How many uncles you have, O Amina? So she will say, Li ammani, Li ammani. Kam sadiqan laka ya Muhammad. Number 7. How many friends you have, O Muhammad? So Muhammad want to say 2. How would he say, sisters? Write it down in your notepad. What will he say? Li sadiqani. Li sadiqani. Not indi sadiqani. They are not in his pocket, right? They are relationship. They are not possessions. كم طالبا جديدا في فصلكم? How many new students in your class? في فصلنا طالبان جديدان. In our class, 2 new students. 2 ways of writing the answer. You could say في فصلنا, in our class, or you could just use the pronoun and say فيه, in it. That both will mean the same thing. Like if you see here we had in number 3, we had answer fihi sabburatani. Here you could have said fi faslina sabburatani. But instead of using the long version, you shortened it and said fihi. Here, the long version is given. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Shaykh Abdul Rahim. Beautifully designed book. Fi faslina talibani jadidani. You could say like that, or you could say fihi talibani jadidani. Both would effectively mean same. This statement would mean in our classroom there are 2 new students. Fihi talibani jadidani would mean in it there are 2 students. Then kam masjidan fi qaryatika ya Zakaria. How many masjid in your village, O Zakaria? You see, in English, you will say how many masajid or how many mosques with S in the end. But here in Arabic, as we said, tamiz is always singular. So it is coming after kam. Kam masjidan fi qaryatika ya Zakaria. So he's saying fi qaryatina masjidani. In our village, 2 masjid, 2 mosques. Kam funduqan fi hadhihi ash-shar'. How many hotels in this street? What's the answer? Fihi funduqani. In it, 2 hotels. Kam akhan laka ya Su'ad. How many brothers you have? Kam akhan laki ya Su'ad. How many brothers you have, O Su'ad? So she's saying li akhawani, li akhawani. Here, you see the difference? Akhan, we did not added alif and noon and said akhani. The spelling for this is akhawani. Why it is like that, we will learn that in future lessons. It has something to do with the original word. The spelling of the original word is coming back in the dual, but we'll not go into that detail. For now, just understand the muthanna, the dual for the al-akh, which is given here in the pink background here, is akhawan. You will not say akhani. Usually we add alif and noon, but here it's a little bit of change. It's akhawani. Then number two is iqra waktub. Once again, it's very close to my heart. I would request you to please do write after the lesson. This will make you very strong, inshallah. Khalidun lahu, Khalid for him. In English, you will not say for him, but we are doing word to word transition. Harja li means for, and pronoun who means him. So we're saying for him. Otherwise, in English, you could say Khalid, he has, or Khalid has, however you want to say it. Our focus is not on this part. Our focus is on the next part of this sentence. Khalidun lahu abnani wa bintani. Khalid has Khalid for him two sons and two daughters. So you can say Khalid has two sons and two daughters. في هذا البيت غرفتان كبيرتان. In this house are two big rooms. You see now, numbers are being matched here. One ghurfa will say ghurfatun kabiratun, big room. But here we are saying ghurfatan. We are talking about two rooms. So you see, naat must match with the man'ut in numbers and singular and plural. These four things which are given here on the left hand side. So if you have ghurfatani, then you cannot say naat as kabiratun. You must have to say kabiratani. So you will open the ta of kabiratun, the round ta, and add alif and noon after that, and you will match naat and manut because they both must match. Right? Fatimatu laha tiflani saghirani. You see, once again, tiflun is one child. Tiflani is two. So you can't say, if she had one small child, you will say, Fatimatu laha tiflun saghirun. End of the story. But here you're saying tiflani, two children, and you want to say small, so you can't say saghirun. That will be a mismatch. You must add alif and noon to match nath and manu. So you will say tiflani saghirani. Then li aynani wa udhunani wa yadani wa rijlani. For me, or I have two eyes and two ears and two hands and two legs. I hope it is clear. في هذا الحي مدرستان. In this neighborhood are two schools. Salat al-Fajr. How many rakats are in Salat al-Fajr? Two. So rakah is one. Here we have two rakah in Salat al-Fajr, right? The fard. Salat al-Fajr rakatani, 2 units of prayer. Lil bayti miftahani, for the house, two keys. Liman hatani al-baqaratani. Why hatani is coming? Why baqaratani is coming? Baqaratani originally was baqaratun, cow. Baqaratun ending with ta madbuta. So if it was singular, it's feminine, we will use hadi. Liman hadihil baqaratu. This was the question, right? Liman hadihil baqaratu. Now we are talking about the two cows. So we say we added alif and nun by opening the ta, baqaratani. So when we are saying baqaratani, you cannot say hadihi. You have to make it musanna. How you make musanna? By making hatani. You say hatani. The spelling of making dual in hadihi changes slightly. It's hadihi. You don't add alif and nun after hadihi and hadihi hani. You make it hatani. This is how the spelling is in Arabic language for that. To whom belongs these two cows? You see, what's the answer? They too are for the farmers. Huma lil fallahi. If it was one, you will say hiya lil fallahi, because hiya is used for feminine, but homa here is being used for feminine as well. We have seen before that homa can be used for female and can be used for male. We'll see the example of male in the next sentence. Ahadani tabibani min Inkaltara. Are these two doctors from England? La huma min Faransa. They are from France. You see, these two doctors, tabibani, obviously we're talking about two male doctors, and the answer is they huma. Homa is used for two doctors, which is masculine, and two cows, which are feminine. So homa will be used for both genders. There is no separate word for muthanna in when it comes to this pronoun. في قريتي مسجدان صغيران. In my village, two small masajid. There is no, any grammatically in English, there's something missing, but we are doing word to word translation. In English, you may say, in my village, there are two masajids. Right? So you will add words according to the structure of Arabic language, English language. But here we are trying to understand Arabic, so we are trying mostly to do word to word translation. So once you understand word to word translation, then you can actually translate the way you like it, right? Hence, it is very important, sisters, to know the Arabic language, because when you are reading the Quran, when you're reading the translation, right? Most of us read the translation. We don't read word to word translation unless and until we are students and we are very interested and we really want to know. Usually, what people do, people read the translation if they want to understand. And this is what happens in translation. Everyone will make translation in their own way. Some people will make it according to their understanding, others will make it according to their understanding, and their understandings could be a innocent mistake, or understanding could have intentful changes in the transition of the ayah. You see what I'm saying? So hence it is very important that you understand the words. So when you are reading the Quran, you are able to understand what is the meaning of this word. So if somebody translates it into some other way, you could say, no, 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 this is not possible. Believe me, just after maybe by from up to this level, or maybe after level 1 or 2, you will pick the translation. I don't want to mention the names. Very good, very nice translations, very authentic translations. Still in those translations, you will find grammatical translation errors. The meaning wise, there are no errors, but grammatically, you will think, this is not correct here. The actual translation is this, but sometimes there is no equivalent available in English. So it's not a mistake of the translator, but there's nothing available. And because this nothing is available, they are using either the everyday English language, or they simply have a word which is equivalent to that word in Arabic. So they have to either not translate it or just translate it in a different way. And that then, hence, because of that, you cannot actually get the meaning. For example, if you see Surah Al-Asr, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, Innal Insana Lafi Khusr. So inna is for ta'kid, yeah, for emphasis. And the translation given indeed, yeah, verily. This is the translation you will see in English. Verily, human being is at loss, but that's it. But in this ayah, inna is used for ta'kid, for emphasis. And then there's another word is used, that's the lam, which is coming before fi. La fi, that lam is also used for ta'kid. So there's a double ta'kid. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us something with ta'kid over ta'kid, and emphasis over emphasis. But English language is not able to translate that letter la, which is attached with the fi. That doesn't make grammar a structural composition in English language that this can be translated. So you are not able to get the meaning of two emphasis in that ayah. In English translation, you only get one emphasis. Wallahu alam. So I hope you understand that how important it is for you to actually understand the Arabic language, so you don't have to rely on any translation. So now we come to exercise number 3. Read the following examples, then fill in the blanks with tamiz and vowelize it. What is tamiz? You know now, right? Because you know tamiz, and because the author has written tamiz, otherwise author needed to write, the word which is coming after come. Now, you know what is tamiz. Tamiz is the word which comes after come. So what is required of you is read the following examples and fill in the blanks, put the correct tamiz and vowelize it, means put the vowel sign on that. Kam ukhtan lak, kam qalaman indak, Kam sayyaratan fil jami'ati. Right? These are the questions. This is how you have to make the questions. So how will you make the questions? Answers are all given. So I'll just reveal the answers. In your book, you will find it like that. Come fill in the blanks in the. Come fill in the blank lak. Come fill in the blanks fi hadhi shari. So you know that the word you will choose for the come. Let's say you are asking a question to somebody about how many brothers has he got. So you should know that after come, when you want to ask brother, you will not say come akhun. Why you will not say akhun? One reason, because after the come, the word which will come is not going to be marfu. So you cannot have akhun with the dhammat, and you must have it mansub. So you will say akhan. And then You also know that you cannot use the plural form because the word which comes after come is always singular. And then you also know that you cannot use marifa, you cannot add alif and lam to that. Why? Because the word which comes after come is always nakira. Let's see the examples here. Kam daftaran indak. You cannot say kam dafatirun indak. Dafatirun, you can't say at all because that's mamnu min as-sarf. But anyway, you cannot make it marfu by putting tanween or single dhamma. You cannot use the plural in place of daftaran, and you cannot use alif and lam. You must use after come, the next word will be mansoob. It will be nakira, means it will not be definite. There will be no alif lam, and it will be singular. It will be singular. So I hope you have noted that, and you can see as it is coming here. Kam akhan lak, kam fundaqan fi hadhihi ash-sha'ri, kam madrasatan fi qaryatik. All those words which are coming after kam are singular, are indefinite, and mansoob. Right? So three conditions we see they should come after come. However, there's another type of come as well, which is called come khabariya, but we are not talking about that. That will come inshallah in future lessons. I'm telling you because if you come across the come with other things and you say, wow, we have studied something else in the class, but come is not just this, there's another come as well. So maybe what you see which is not meeting these conditions could become khabariya, but that we will discuss in later lessons. Right now, we will be focusing on what is in front of us. This come is to ask questions. And the alama is, you can see question mark coming here, right? Number 4. Change the mubtada into dual in the following sentences. Don't forget to match the khabar in number with the mubtada. We all know that khabar must match the mubtada. Hada kitabun. This is the book. How will you say about two books? Hadani kitabani, right? So you have hada qalamun. Now, sisters, you tell me, how will you say these are two pens? I hope it's very, very easy now. Add alif and noon after hada and add alif and noon after qalam. That's it, you're done. Hadani qalamani. It means these are two pens. Right? Now, English, I'm saying these because I don't have a choice. I can either say this or I can say these. There is nothing in English for dual, but in Arabic we have. So, hadha qalamun means this is a pen. If you want to do a kind of a word-to-word translation for your students, you may say to them, hadani qalamani means these are two pens, right? Or this are two pens, however you want to say it, but you can't actually correctly say it because it's not available in English, this concept. Haza mistaratun. Sorry, hadihi mistaratun. So hatani mistaratani. Hadihi turn into hatani when you make two. And mistaratun, you opened up the ta marbuta. This one, this ta was opened up and you added alif and nun. Hatani mistaratani. And then hada talibun. Hadani talibani. Hadihi talibatun. Write in your notebooks, it says, what are we going to do? What two changes will happen? Hadi talibatun, this is a female student. How can I say these are two female students? We'll say hatani talibatani. هذا الرجل مدرس هذان الرجلان مدرسان. You see every word changed into two. هذا for two we added alif and nun. الرجل means one man. To make two we added alif and nun. مدرس means one. We wanna, this is like a, so we added alif and nun to it. هذا الرجل مدرس هذا الرجل مدرس هذان الرجلان مدرسان. What is the Arab? Hada is mubtada, ar-rajulu is the badal. We studied before any word which is with alif lam, and if there is a ismul ishara before that, that word is badal. So this is the noun sentence because it's beginning with the noun. So hada is mubtada, ar-rajul is the badal. Where is the khabar? We must need khabar. What's the translation for hada ar-rajulu, this man? If I say this man and I become quiet, you will say, what do you mean by this man? Please complete your sentence. So I have to complete it. And I say, هذا الرجل مدرس. This man is a teacher. Now you're happy, right? So now, هذا is your mubtada, الرجل is the badal, and مدرس is the khabar, which is matching هذا in gender and in number. So now when you make the two, you say هذاني. So now your mubtada is هذاني. So your badal also has to reflect هذاني. So it's هذاني الرجلان. These two men, you can't say these two men are teacher. Even in English, you can't say teacher. You must add S. To give an indication, you're talking about more than one. So how will you say that here? Mudarrisani. To give the indication, you're talking about two. Hadani rajulani mudarrisani. Hadha talibu minal Hindi. this student is from India. How will you say these? If you talk about two, if you're pointing towards two students from India, how will you say? Very simple. Hadani talibani min al Hindi. You will not make Hind into two countries. Same. They're not two Indias. There's only one India. So you're going to change only Hadani talibani. What is another reason for that? Very good. We have studied it before as well. Let's do the Arab. Maybe somebody will say, why I'm not going to change Al Hind? Because I'm changing it everywhere, making two. I will make two Indians. So let's see. Hada is mubtada, right? Mubtada and khabar match each other. Remember that. Hada is mubtada, which is khabar. Min al Hindi is a phrase khabar, right? So it's a phrase khabar. It's not a noun khabar that you have to match. You match the khabar with the mubtada when it is a one-word khabar. These sisters understand. You say Zaidun maridun. Fatimatu maridatun. Now you're matching male, male, female, female because it's one word. Zaidun maridun. You're not using ta marbuta because Zaid is masculine. Fatimatu maridatun. You is using ta marbuta because Fatima is female. But what if they are in the masjid? So it says Zaidun fil masjid. Fatimatu fil masjid. Both khabar is same. One is masculine mubtada, one is feminine mubtada. Why? What's happening? Why we are not matching? Because we only match when the khabar is a one-word khabar. You remember, sisters, we have different types of khabar. Khabar can be one word, or khabar can be a phrase khabar, or khabar can be a sentence khabar. Yeah, let me just give you something here. If you uh, don't know it from before, if you have discussed it, write it down if you want to. Otherwise, we'll do it in future, inshallah. So khabar is one word, one type. Second type is khabar can be a phrase khabar. When khabar is a phrase khabar, it can be of two types. Phrase is divided into two types. Either it will have harf jar or it will have zarf. So example for this will be, first of all, Zaidun maridun, one word khabar, done. Second khabar, phrase khabar. So phrase khabar has got two parts. How will it look when it's harf jar in the khabar? Zaidun fil masjidi. So fi is there and al masjid is there. This is a phrase, fil masjidi, in the masjid. And if I say Zaidun amam al masjidi, amama is what? In front of, amama is the zarf. So this is a zarf. So phrase can be of two types. Phrase could be with harf jar, or phrase could be with zarf, with adverb. I hope I'm not confusing you. This is something we've done before, we will do in future, so don't worry about it. But it's important that we discuss these things when the lessons are easy, right? When it's too difficult lessons, then sometimes I try not to go into these details. So another type of khabar is a sentence khabar. Zaidun ذهب إلى المدرسة. Zaidun is the mubtada. What's the khabar? ذهب إلى المدرسة. The whole verb sentence, ذهب, he went إلى المدرسة, to the school. So Zaid, I become quiet. You say, please say something. I can say Zaidun maridun, you are happy. I can say Zaidun fil masjidi, you are happy, you got the news. I can say Zaidun amam al masjidi, Zaid is in the front of masjid, you are happy. Or I can say Zaid, he went to the school. You are happy. So he went to the school. The whole sentence is called Jumla failure. It is coming and sitting in the chair of the khabar. There is a possibility that you will have a khabar, which is actually a noun sentence sitting in the chair of the khabar. We will do that in future lessons, inshallah. Don't worry. If I say Zaidun, kitabuhu jamilun. Zaid, his book is beautiful. So I say Zaid, and I become quiet. And you say, please say something. I say Zaid, his house is beautiful. Let's say, Baytu Jamilun. His house is big. Baytu Kabirun. You are happy, right? So Zaid is my mubtada. What am I telling you about Zaid? I'm telling you that his house is big. So I say Zaidun, this is mubtada. Baytuhu Kabirun. His house is big. So this is a khabar, which is a noun sentence, right? But don't worry about it. We will deal with that in detail. I just went into tangent that you get something, you have got some food for thought, inshallah. Anyway, we'll move forward. هذه الساعة من اليابان. هاتان الساعتان من اليابان. Now, this card is for the head teacher. How will we say these two cards are for the head teachers? I hope it is clear by now. If you just look at the example number 7, هذه الساعة من اليابان. Same thing you will do with that one. هاتان السيارتان للمدير. You see, هذه will become هاتani when you're pointing towards two, and a sayyaratu will become a sayyaratani. You will add alif and nun. لمن هذا المفتاح. How will you say two? لمن هذان المفتاحان. Beautiful structure. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Shaykh Abdul Rahim. Look how beautiful. In this one, he's coming with masculine and then dual. هذاني Miftahani. Look at the next one. Liman hadhihi al-mil'aqatu, to whom belongs this spoon. Now hadhihi is feminine and mil'aqatu is also feminine. How will we make two? Liman hatani al-mil'aqatani. Right? To whom belongs these two spoons? Next is read the following words and vowelize it. Means write correct vowel sign. So how will you say, what will be the vowel sign, sisters? Kalbani, maktabani, qamisani. All you need to know is when you are making a dual, please pay attention, because in future there will be few things coming and you may just get confused. When you're making a dual, how you know that this word is the dual or this word is an original word? Because you will see the noon has got a kasra. Maktabani, qamisani, akhawani, mindilani, mistaratani, ukhtani, imra'atani. Remember, in the last lesson, we have seen the plural of qamisun. That was qumsan. One may say qumsan. Okay, qumsan is dual, but we say, is it qumsani? For dual, the condition is that the last noon will have a kasra. Remember that. There could be words which are ending on alif and noon. Uthman, for example, somebody's name, Uthman. Is it a dual? Are we talking about two? Is it Uthmani? No, it can never be Uthmani. But this will be discussed later on, inshallah. But Uthman is ending on alif and lam. Or Ramadan ending on alif and noon. Sorry, Uthman alif and noon. Ridwan alif and noon. So Ridwan, are we talking about two? No, Ridwan is a name. It's nothing to do with two here. Why? What's the proof? Proof is the noon has not got a kasra, but all of these ones which are duals, they will have kasra under noon. Maktabani, qamisani, ukhtani, mindilani, kitabani, talibani, sayaratani. I hope you got that, sisters. Now the sixth one is make dual of the following words. I hope nobody will have difficulty. Sayaratun, how will you make the dual? Sayaratani. Tabibatun, open the ta, add alif and nun, tabibatani. Lughatun, open the ta, add alif and nun, lughatani. Mil'aqatun, open the ta, add alif and nun, mil'aqatani. Ismun, what will you do? Add alif and nun, sorry. Ismani. Tabibatun, tabibatani. Sadiqun is friend, sadiqani. Mudarrisun, simply add alif and nun, mudarrisani. So one teacher became two teachers. Hadani, hadani. Sorry, hada is one, this, and hadani is for two. Waladun is one boy. How we say two? Waladani. Tajirun is one. How do we say two? Tajirani. Babun is one. How do we say two doors? Babani. Hadihi. How do we make hadi? Hatani. There's a slight spelling change in hadi. Just remember that, right? In hadihi, we have a slight spelling change. For the two, we say hatani. We just don't come with alif and noon. We make certain changes. The spelling is totally different. So what we understood is mubtada and khabar must match in number. So all the mubtadas must match in number. And these are the new words. Kam is a tool to ask a question. How many or how much? Al-Eid, we all know what is Eid. Al-Hayy, Al-Hayyu is basically neighborhood. Al-Raka'atu is the unit of praise. The plural is Raka'atun. Al-Ajalatu is the wheel, and the plural is Ajalatun. Al-Riyal is the currency of Saudi Arabia, and the plural is Riyalatun. Al-Mistaratu is the ruler, the stationary item, and the plural is Masatiru. Masatiru. Why not Masatirun? We saw riyalatun, ajalatun, raka'atun. Why is masatiru not masatirun? Why there is not dammatain, tanween on ra? Because it is one of those words which we have seen called mamnu' min as-sarf, deep taught. But one may say, how am I going to remember? Every lesson you give two words. No. When we'll move forward, you will see there are just few words and there's a pattern. You see pattern. Masajidu. Mim, sin, alif, jim, dal. Masajidu. Masatiru, they sound same, the rhyming, right? I'll tell you what is the tool to identify those words, inshallah, in future lessons. So that's it. That's all for today's class. I hope it was easy. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you understood it and there were no issues. It was very, very easy. If we have to take today's lesson summary, the simple thing is one thing we have learned basically, and that is how basically what we learned was that in Arabic, numbers are divided into, the Arabic language is divided into three categories when it comes to numbers: singular, dual, and plural. In English, it's only singular and plural. Now, the question was, okay, there's a dual, which is in Arabic language, which is not in English. How to make dual? How to know this is about two? So the simple answer was, take a singular word, add alif and noon to it, and it will become a dual. So if you have a word kitabun, which means a book, that is one book, you want to say two book, simply add alif and noon, and it'll become kitabani. Qalamun, a pen. You will say two pens, just add alif and noon in the end. Qalamani, they become two. If you have a word sayaratun, a car, you want to say two car, simple, just add alif and noon, and before you add alif and noon, just open the ta, because ta marbuta usually comes at the end of the letter. You cannot have alif and noon coming after that. You have to join. So sayara tani. That's it. Tabibun, tabibani, tabibatun, tabibatani, Muslimun, two Muslims, Muslimani. Plural is Muslimuna. There's a difference. Muslimani is two, Muslimuna is many. And for female, it's Muslimatun, one single female. What's the plural? Muslimatun. But how do we make dual? Simple. Muslimatun is the mufrad, is the singular. Simply open the ta and add alif and noon. Muslima Tani means two Muslim women. I hope it was easy, sisters. So if there's nothing else, we will inshallah end the class. Whatever good I said was only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever evil I said, whatever mistakes I have made are from myself and from shaitan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive my sins. I respectfully ask you, sisters, to please overlook my shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us all. Ameen. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.